Hey kindergarten, we are going to start science this week. There are lots of different kinds of science, but the science we're going to be experimenting with is engineering, and we're going to be talking about the process that engineers use to solve problems. To understand what kind of problems we're talking about, we first have to understand a little bit about the world around us. First, let's think about things that we can find in nature. That means things that can't be made by us. Some of those things might be trees, animals, mountains, and waterways like streams and rivers. There are also things that cannot be found in nature. That means that somebody had to make them or build them. Things like your video game console, your home, pencils, and other tools, and something that you might use to get around, like a bike or a car. The question is, how and why do we have all of these things? At one point or another, somebody had a problem that they had to solve, and these things came about. For instance, somebody needed shelter. That means a place to stay, so they had to build a home. Maybe somebody needed a quick way to get around. Then they invented the bike. It was a problem that was solved. Who solves these problems? People called engineers work to solve problems that we have every day. An engineer solves problems that people have by using special steps. The first step is to ask. We have to ask, what is the problem that we have? Then we explore some ideas. Next, we build a model. A model is a representation of what it is that we're building. Then we have to evaluate by testing out our model. Last, we explain how we got to our answer. Sometimes our answers work, and sometimes they don't. That's okay. In order to understand more, we have to learn more about the world around us. Every day, there are things in our world that help us. For instance, take a look at this spoon. The spoon has a certain structure. Structure is the way that something is made. We can see that the spoon has a long handle and an end that's round and holds something. Well, what is that spoon used for? That's called the function. The function of a spoon is to eat soup or something that has liquid. It helps us to put it to our mouth. So the function of the spoon is to eat soup. Let's take a look at another structure. This structure is a glass of water. We notice that the glass of water is meant to hold something. That's because it's meant to hold water or other liquids that we drink. So the water in the cup is used to drink. These are structures, and their functions are what they do or what they're supposed to do. Now you're also going to be an engineer, and this week you're going to be helping us to solve a problem. We're going to be going through the design process. We're going to ask a question that we're trying to solve. We're going to explore some ideas about how we can solve that problem. Then we're going to build a model. The model is going to use the supplies that you can see here. You're going to need to bring an empty toilet paper roll. It looks like this. It should be something that you normally would throw away, but we're going to hold on to it because it's going to help us to solve our problem. You're also going to bring with you your popsicle sticks and the red pom-poms that we gave you in your September bag. We're going to be building a model, evaluating the model to see if it works, and explaining what we did and how we could make it even better. Now, our question that we're going to ask is going to be surrounded by that 10 apples up on top book. So we're going to read the story and see if we can solve a problem that we have that comes out in the story. I can't wait for you guys to be engineers. This is what our engineering form looks like. Engineers are scientists, and scientists have to make observations. That means they have to write things down to make sure that we get all of the information that we're using to solve problems. So make sure you bring this page too. We can't wait to see you on Friday to do some engineering science.